I can't hear nothing.
You have to tell him. Oh, here you go.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to start right now the class about screen time, how to manage the screen, how to control the screen. All that, inshallah, gonna see it through that program. It's very important for parents, very important for kids, for everybody in the family to get the benefit and have awareness about the negative of the screen and how to control and manage it to be benefit for yourself and your future, inshallah. This session under Aman Institute and ICGK, the program is American Muslim Youth Crisis. American Muslim Youth Crisis. We have like 43 prizes we collected for the Muslim youth here in America. And mute everybody, please. Mute.
American Muslim Youth.
Among them is screen time, positive and negative. Let's go to the next slide here. The impact of excessive screen time on children. We should know that, parents know that, and also children know about that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we believe in Allah, believe in Tawheed, in Iman, and we believe we're going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we understand the nature of this life. It is short and it is test for every human, and believers, they work hard, they struggle to achieve pleasing, to achieve satisfy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So human made such a great progress in modern life in that era through the intellect that given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the what's happening? Feel bad. Feel bad. Feel bad. So these great feel bad خالص سنكريه. These great events, unfortunately, sometime maybe lead to the spoiling, the corruption for the kids and for the future of the kids. So we as a parents, we as a believers, we have all the family members should take care about the corruption, the badness, and the evil in beyond the screens. Evil, yes. We should know that there is evil, kind of evil beyond the screen that maybe damage spiritually of the kids, spirituality, physically, socially, morality, psychologically, the life of the kids if we don't use it well. And we have many incidents happen in around us and across the world, hundreds or thousands of incidents, negative incidents happen to the kids and to the families who don't control, who don't manage the matter of the screen. So let's go to the negative impact, negative part. Danger for the soul of the kid. Danger for the soul of the kid. Very dangerous. It is very dangerous. The effect of media on the soul are very dangerous, and when a person stay for long hours, long time, without control, without manage the time, there is absolutely negative impact on the mind, on the soul, on the character of the boy or the girl or the youth and the person in general. While Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you know, created us for a purpose. We should know that Allah created me and you and every human being. Why? There is a purpose, there is a target from that creation. To know knowledge about Him, knowledge about Allah, knowledge about the Creator, knowledge about the attributes and the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and serve Him. Serve Him is not only to worship, to pray, to fast, but every act in our life is kind of worshiping, kind of prayer, kind of. So this is minimum obligation toward Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pray, to fast, to pay charity. But there are many activities over us, and every activity, Allah or halal, it is worshipping to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the screen work like that. Look at that. The screen cut us from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The screen cuts us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take your mind, take your heart. Yes, really, it is causes serious damage to the soul of the children. It leads to ignoring worshiping. Yani the child raised don't care about worshiping, don't care about prayer. That's why we should bring the children to the masjid for many times, so much time, and stay in the masjid much time. That link and attach them with the masjid, with the building of the masjid, with the activity of the masjid, with the knowledge in the masjid. They love the masjid, they raise on that. Very important to attach the kid with the masjid as a building, as environment, as an imam, as a teacher, as a knowledge, all that very important. That stuck with the soul, with the mind, with the heart of the kid, and raised like that, like a believer, raised like a believer. So the screen cut that from us, cut us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the duties. So the kid, what happened? It leads to ignoring of worshiping and religious duties. As a matter of fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, all creation, especially human and jinn, for his worshiping subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I did not create the jinn and the human beings except that they should worship me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So look at this picture, guys. You see this girl, this expresses about the situation exactly. The girl busy with the screen, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
beyond her, what these devils,
jinns.
shayateen, Satans. So the screen, it may has Satan's back of it. So take care of that. This image very expressive about the situation of the screen, especially when you stay long time with bad games, bad videos, bad stuff. That's why parents should take care of that. We're gonna speak about that, to review and preview the videos and the games that the children gonna watch and gonna deal with, inshallah. Among the negative of the screen, danger to intellectual and psychological human mind. You see in this screen, in this picture, people go to the screen and get outside from screen like, subhanallah. Researchers say that. Researchers say 1 hour on the screen, it will reduce the creative activity of a child half an hour. Look at that. 1 hour reduce creative activities of a child half an hour. So every 1 hour damage 30 minutes from the creative activity of the child. What the creative activity? Like, get an example here: painting, sports, writing, calligraphy, sewing, graphics, photography, puppet making, experiments, like one-handed activities. These called creative activities. The child, the youth, the human in general need it to interact with it. But work excessive on the screen cut and damage that creativity of the human, of the person. So those children who see the screen excessive time without a limit, without control, lose their creative abilities, the skills to create, to be a creative person. Okay, their life become boring. Their life become boring. You just sleep, eat, screen, sleep, eat, screen, sleep, eat, screen. That's dangerous, very dangerous. But the person should variety between sport, studying, researching, reading, eating, sleeping, screen, that. Okay, so the person, if stay long time in front of the screen, he changed to be dumb, unfortunately. Also screen wasting of time. If we don't manage it well, the screen kind of wasting of time. Alhamdulillah, in our Islam, our deen, Islam encouraged us to manage the time. The system of nature run accurately. Look at the sun, look at the moon, look at the stars, raise at their time, on time, every day, and reach us regularly. Look at the sun every day in the same time. System, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it for us, subhanAllah. If a person works against nature, his nature as a human, he takes the laws in this world and hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. By time, indeed, mankind is in loss, except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds and advised each other to truth and advised each other to patience. Also, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, فيما صح عنه, an authentic narration mentioned that Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu narrated that Rasulullah said, two blessings that many of the people careless. They are health and free time. Health and free time. If you are a healthy person and you have time, so you should use that for benefit yourself and the family and the community. Raise your knowledge, raise your money, raise your iman, raise your faith, raise your friendship, and so on. Don't stay, you have time, stay long time on the screen. That's damage your mind, your brain, your soul. We should think that our kids is spending time with the tool beyond. What can be benefit so that monitoring, we should monitor the screen. As a parents, father and mother should review what they watch and preview before they start to watch, review the videos or the games they're gonna deal with it. We should, as a parents, talk to your child about the importance of time and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the time as a gift. Our time is gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and being a believer is another gift. So use the two gifts for the benefit of your life and this life and next life, because you have these two gifts, health and time. And time, beside both, iman, faith, iman with health, with time, make the person perfect in this life and high ranks in next life. These for parents. Avoid to give the kid early device. We see sometime mother is busy, father busy, the child needs somebody with him or her, so they give him laptop or give him screen, cell phone, iPad, whatever, to be busy, avoid be busy from mother and father, parents. That's very dangerous. There is many toys they can baby work with that the age, but don't give the screen anytime for the baby early. That's make early addiction for the baby, early addiction for the baby. This for parents. Please take care of that. Beware of that. Don't give the baby, the young babies, the screen to have your own time to stay here and there, and give them a screen to be busy with the screen. That make your child early addictive. You see here, The baby, instead of take his, this toy, mother give him a cell phone. That's very serious and very dangerous. Don't be addictive person. Addictive. How can I know I'm addictive with the screen or not? How can I know that? If the person stay long time with the screen, and when you take it from it became angry, furious, and do some such and such and such, this addictive. Long time in the screen and angry when you take it from him or her. So what the reasonable time for the screen every day? These very important and serious questions, very important. That researches for pediatric, say it's from 30 minutes to 1 hour a day, every day, not more than that. 30 minutes to 1 hour. So whoever stay 2 hours or 3 or more than that, that's very serious, in trouble. So 30, and what kind? This is very important. Another question important, which is focus on what benefit and look at the age, the games and the videos that benefit that age. And that's very, very easy now to check on special, YouTube for kids. And there is Muslim TV, Muslim Kids TV. There is many help gonna find it if we decide to take that track to avoid addiction for your kids. Don't leave it for hours with him or her. 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Okay. Otherwise, will be when he is used like that. When he is used, youth will be like that, cannot get away from screen, cannot get away from the screen. And there is many hands play in his mind or her mind outside the family, because the screen bring alien people inside the family. Think about that. The screen bring alien people, strange people from outside to be inside and control the brain and the mind of our kids. So early, don't give the child long time on the screen, and from 30 to 60 minutes, and give them the benefit them for their studying, for their fun, entertaining, all that stuff, no problem, but not more than 30 minutes. Otherwise, we'll go to a bad situation when he is youth, like that guy in the picture here. Look, this hand is the play in his mind, in his head. We should understand that screen and hand is back of the screen, beyond of the screen. What they are going, they brainwashing, make brainwashing for the kids, and change their method of life, the human trend, change their deen, even change their culture, change their language. Yeah, and you see the language when they write the chat, it's very strange language. A very strange language. Why? Because this is a type when they deal together, when they chat together, and so on. So they make brainwashing through the screen. So take care, parents, from that point. It's a method for changing human trend. It can change your deen, your culture, style of life, looking to the how to look to the life, change that. Express about yourself, change that. Deal with the person, with the kids, with the youth as a customer, merely a customer. So they make his mind, her mind, to go a specific trend, a specific way to benefit themselves. At the end of the day, they look at the benefit for them, so the hands and these people beyond the screen. So parents, take care of that and manage the time for your kids, manage the time for your youth. Still, this is operation for brainwashing for the humanity in general, by the way, is not only the kids, but they start early with the kids to reach to what they need when the kids it's 10, 14, 20 years old. Look at that. Change humanity like that, like a robot, just like machine, work in this life like machine. Without mind. Somebody else think for them. Somebody else express about them. Somebody else control their mind, their brain, their soul, and so on. Among the most dangerous thing in the screen that disconnect between family member.
Like figment.
Look here in this picture, the father, the mother, the kids, everyone has his own screen and busy with it and no connection. Subhanallah, Allah created us to be one bond, one hand, connect together. But the screen work against that and disconnect between parents and the kids, kids and the parents, kids together, and so on. Became the screen for him his own family. The screen, his friend, his father, his mother, his sister, his brother, everything in his life, the screen. That's addiction or addictive person. So among the most dangerous in the screen that disconnect the family ties. And all that, as I mentioned, it is when we use the screen so much, when we get a violation for the system, for the rules, for the screen, for the screen. Okay, now we're talking about the negative stuff. Let's go to the positive stuff. Absolutely, there is many stuff thing that screen makes human close. You see now they connect people in China, in Australia, here and there in few seconds. You can send your message, your email, your text, your video, whatever. So make human close to each other, near to each other, and make the knowledge easy to reach. Research for everything you're gonna find it on internet, on the screen. So this is one of the positive stuff. You can connect your family, your kinship, wherever they are. You can talking about business, about trading, everything through internet, through the screen, earn money, earn knowledge, earn degree, all that stuff positive for the screen. So if you count the positive, you're gonna find it more than negative. But how to use the screen? The point here, how to use the screen. Always stay using the screen positive. Look at the benefit. Look at what benefits you, and away from the damage your brain, your soul, your morals in the screen. Last slide here, some advices for all, especially parents. As parents, plan what your child gonna see. Don't take the device to the child, and the child search for what he wanted to see, good, bad. No, is a matter. And as a parents, we have to take care of that as a parent. So make the screen for them. Make the screen for limit time. Or make the screen for limit. As I mentioned at the beginning, from 30 minutes to 60 minutes, maximum 1 hour every day. Then look at the quality videos. Good quality videos, good benefit, knowledge for the kids videos. And that's very, very easy to find it. Very easy. There is Islamic songs, Islamic movies, Islamic scientific documentary that help the child to raise their knowledge. Even the movies, there is entertaining halal entertaining movies. You can search for that and control that for the kids. So about the knowledge beneficial and historical programs for children, use parenting control. This brother Faizan after me gonna talk about that, how to control as a parent for the screen remote control for the screen from away. Review all the videos, games, smartphone applications before allow your child to play or watch them. Yes, it's our responsibility before Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to secure what our children gonna see before approve it, and then give it to the child. Otherwise, no way to watch anything before approval of the parents. By the way, we can provide entertaining to our children in a proper and safety way. Occasionally, watch what your child watches. Watch with him or her. Watch with him, watch with her. What they watching as a parents. I'm busy, I'll have time. Okay, no screen. When you are ready, you have time, free time, stay with your child and watch with him or her what they are watching and discuss what they're watching, what the benefit, what the negative we see in that video, in that game. Whenever you give time to your child for watching screen, arrange and try to sit down and spend that time with your child, watching whatever program he or she watches, and discuss after that, and talk to him or her and understand what they are seeing, and speak about the values. When you see something in the video, in the game, against our values or against human values, talk with the child about the high rank, educated manners, values, how Islam support that, don't support that. It's very important for parents to keep talking to the child. Keep talking to your kid. Keep talking. That's build tie between parents and the child, build security and trust, confidence between both. And later, when they are youth, teenager, youth, adult, that remain and stay with them, and they talk to you when they are independent. Because one day, 18 and 19 years old, gonna go away from you for knowledge, for studying in college, something like that. So when you keep in tie with them, they stay even after they independent and go from you to the different state, different city for college and for university. Talk about the values of Islam, general, humanity values, family values, family issues, violence, drugs abuse, junk food, all that stuff. They may see it on the screen. Guide your children how to use the screen. Tell about positive and negative, and keep telling. Some mothers, they complain, I'm keep telling, but children don't listen. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Children takes time to learn. Some children from one time, some 5 times, some 10 times, some 100 times. So keep teaching. Don't upset. Don't give up. Keep teaching your kids.
I don't have no
Keep teaching your
charger.
kids. Don't give up. Never give up. And keep teaching and be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gift us these kids, and we should be patient to earn the barakah and the blessing of these kids when they grow and became a big man or big man, inshallah. We should help to teach the ways to use it in a useful manner. We should teach our kids that screens and technology are not negative always. It has negative, it has positive. And we grow and focus, sit down, focus on positive, what benefit, what raise our values as a Muslims, as a human, what raise our knowledge, raise our character to be a good character in this life, and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in what pleases Allah Jalla wa ala. We reach to the end of the my part today, inshallah. And it is now for the time for question. If you have question, I'm ready. Or we're gonna go to brother Faizan for his section, inshallah, about the screen time. Any questions? Assalamu alaikum. No questions? Parents? Raise your hand. Go ahead. Who is asking? What's your name? Say, it's your question. Kabil? Go ahead. What's your question? I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Raise your voice, please.
What happens if you continue?
What happened if the kids? Wow.
No, we see.
I don't hear your question well. Can you come close to the screen?
No, I can't mute it.
Cannot hear you.
What? She can't hear you. She can't hear you.
I cannot.
Unmute.
Just go close to the mic.
They're asking questions.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Idris. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. How are you?
I'm good.
What the
Yeah.
question?
Oh yeah, ask the question. Yeah, she said if you use your computer for too long, and the genes attack you.
And what attack you?
And
Parents?
gene spirit, bad spirit.
Jinn?
Yes, yeah, the genes.
There is no connection, but let me tell you something. When you focus on
You
the
have to limit what you are doing. That is what we used to tell them.
when you focus on horrible movies you see on the screen, so you go to the you're sleeping and you're dreaming, you're gonna maybe have nightmare, because what we watch during the screen, you see horrible movies, bad movies, evil movies. So you go to the sleeping and see that what you watch in the movie, and you're dreaming nightmares. So that's why disconnect with this kind of movies that damage even your sleeping. You get horrible dreams, nightmares. But there is no connection between that except when we go to the evil on the screen. Evil on the screen, yes, bring and grab the jinn, the satans, the bad spirit to our life when we are sleeping, even when we are moving alive. So there's kind of damage for our life through the screen by that way. Any other question? Fadla, you have question, Fadla? No questions? Okay. I see Fadla, raise your hand. What the question? Oh,
How long can you watch Muslim TV Muslim videos?
there is many. I'm gonna send you Muslim Kids TV. Muslim Kids TV. It's subscribe $10 monthly, and you watch everything. It is very safe and very secure. Movies, live TV, toys, games, everything. That's very important. Very good for you. And the beside regular kid YouTube, you parents can sign up for that and gonna control it and have what benefit you, inshallah. I'm gonna send you that link for that. Yes, Aminata, you have a question?
What if you're adopted
and you have a new mom and you're disrespectful to your fake parents?
Disrespect parents is a big problem. Is a big problem. We talked last session about that, how to respect and must respect your parents, because this is part of our morals as a believer, as a Muslim. So disrespect mama, disrespect mother, disrespect father is a trouble in Islam. The person may go hellfire in akhirah, and this dunya, this life will be a future trouble in future for him or her. So repent and stop if the person do that. Don't make the disrespect for parents. It's a big trouble, it's a big issue in the life.
She
A
meant
lot
like
of times in the
stepfather.
Quran,
Like
نعم,
stepmom or stepfather. She meant like that.
it's must. It's a must. Allah say, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah decide no worshipping except to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship Allah alone, Jalla wa ala. And next order, be good treatment for your parents. Good treatment for their parents. So first, Tawheed. Second, as a duty for you as a believer, as a Muslim, respect parents. Listen to your parents. Listen and obey your parents. They look for your benefit. Look for the good future, good character, good person in this life, and will be the same in next life, inshallah. Another question? Yes, you have question? Go ahead.
If a screen is dangerous, then why did a human create it?
Yeah, very good question. If the screen is a dangerous, why human created it? Yes, human created screen not for damage, but some people use it for damage. Basically, a screen for help, for benefit, for what benefit us in this life and next life. But some people who listen to shaitan, listen to evil, listen to badness, so use it for hurt and for their own benefit and for the shaitan help and support. So this is a test from Allah, trial, fitna. We should learn and avoid the fitna and use it for benefit our deen, our faith, our iman, our dunya, and our akhirah. Thank you. Yes, Kareem, I cannot hear you. Here is your voice. Unmute.
Do you have to have a funeral for your dead goldfish?
What?
Do you have to have a funeral for your dead goldfish? According to my
Funeral?
calculations, no. Just put it down the toilet. No. Just pull it. Just put it down the toilet drain. It's that easy, bro. That's all the funeral gets. I'm sorry. Just put it down the toilet. Yeah.
I cannot hear you well. I cannot understand your question, Karam.
Do you have to have a
Right, but slowly, please, slowly.
Does
Because
your
we talk through Zoom, not in physical in the class. Go ahead.
All right. Do you have
Gibril, please.
Do you have to have a funeral for your dead goldfish?
Bro, just flush it down the drain.
I can understand your question.
Just flush it down the drain, bro. That's
A funeral for your
That's question. Just eat it.
yeah, just eat it, bro. What he said, just eat it.
Ew!
Ew. That thing's
Goldfish.
gonna be delicious.
Goldfish.
Bro, that thing's gonna be delicious. What are you talking about?
Goldfish. Hey, please
Yeah,
listen.
just slice it up.
Goldfish for eating, Habibi. It's goldfish for
Kid
eating.
ask,
Don't do it funeral.
should you have
Huh?
a funeral for your dead goldfish? I know.
So now we're done with my session. Now we go to brother Faizan.
Yeah.
He's a specialist in IT, gonna give you some solutions and help parents and help you for that. Go ahead, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So let's start with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. So Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, for the points. I think one of the points you mentioned about the time management is very important. even though we want to use the tools, we want to put the controls in, it really depends, eventually comes to a person. So whenever you are using a device, think about the goals you have for your life and even for the day, and think, are we getting anything from it? What have you achieved from spending some time on TV or on your phone? Um, it is best to start think about at this age daily goals. So when you wake up in the morning, think about what you're going to do in the day. You're going to go to school. Nowadays there is no school, so how are you going to productively use your day, and what you're going to learn today? And towards the end of the day, think about the goals that you have planned in the morning. So for example, you can plan on reading a book, and then towards the end of the day, make sure you have done that. So those important goals gonna make sure that you have really achieved something on daily basis. And you can use this strategy to achieve something long term. For example, you want to learn about astronomy. It's just an idea in your mind that you want to learn how sun and moons and other planets they work, and how they move, what is the science behind them, and there is a way you can watch them, so how all that works. And then you can do some research, what are different books written, for example, and then you can check with your parents if they can take you to local library, and then set a goal for this vacation, that you're going to learn about this topic. Towards the end of it, you will have this topic covered. It's not only the strategy, not only going to increase your knowledge, it's going to help you throughout your life. It's going to even help you, for example, when the school will be back on, you would have presentations, you would have other topics to discuss within a school. It will be a great knowledge for you to utilize. For example, there is a presentation, you already have a topic now to discuss. When a presentation is there, you don't have to research from the scratch. Also, it's gonna make you a well-rounded person, somebody who have knowledge about things around them, not only the knowledge about specific things you learn in a school, but overall life. Gonna help you become a better person. There are a ton of topics which are not covered in school. For example, a very essential and basic topic, very important topic, is finances. Finances, which means managing your money. Right now, you're too young to think about it, but it's just our thinking. You're never too young to learn anything. I was reading about a person who is in his 90s right now, which means he was born early 1900s, and he learned about the finances when he was less than 10 years old. Not
Wow.
only he learned about it, he started to become an investor at age of 11. Officially,
What?
he become an investor. He start to invest the money when he was 11. So when he would get some money from different, for example, his parents would give, or any way he would earn it, he would try to spend it. He would try to understand how business work by selling things on the street and get some money, and then think about how he can reuse this money to make even more. Eventually, he become very successful in it. And it's not only one story, you would hear about it all over the place. For me personally, when I was in sixth grade or something, I started to learn about programming. At that time, internet access to internet was not as easy as it is right now. In every home we have computers, every home we have internet. It wasn't as common back then, like 20 years ago or 25 years ago. It wasn't very common. So it was something that I was interested in. And then I set a goal, like I was saying, for the summer vacation, that, okay, I would try to learn this programming by myself. And I had to rely on books. And at that time, you guys are blessed that you live in US, you have access to internet. It is very easy to learn things. A lot of resources, as Sheikh was mentioning towards the end of his presentation, that learning has made very easy through internet. A lot of material, pretty much on all topics, is available. At that time, I had to kind of learn English to learn computer because English wasn't my first language. So I had to learn English. Then I would go read the books because internet didn't have all the knowledge I wanted. So I had to read a little by little. And then sometimes some words I wouldn't understand. So I would reach out to my parents and my siblings to help me. And then eventually I learned programming myself. At that time, programming was not a huge field and didn't pay much at that time. But what helped me eventually, when I was in high school and graduated from high school, I was thinking about going, helping my father in his business. But what has happened, my knowledge from programming helped me to get a job. And a lot of concepts that I learned in college, much later in university, I already knew when I was a little kid. And that helped me excel to college, get scholarships, and study almost free, very cheap. Didn't have to spend much money. Otherwise, it was very difficult for me and my family to study. And that few right decisions that I had made in my summer vacations actually helped me. Ended up me becoming a professional software developer. And I didn't imagine. I was sitting in Pakistan. I'm originally from Pakistan, and I didn't know English at that time. I didn't imagine that I would have privilege to work for big corporation, multi-billion-dollar corporation. But alhamdulillah, through this little bit of time management, little bit of positive use of the resources, Allah have guided me towards this. It's definitely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but something we have to start with. So it's just an encouragement to always think about your goal. Whenever you are reaching for a device, think about what you're going to get out of it. Inshallah, if you get positive information, good knowledge, it's going to always help you out. Another very encouraging story before I move out to some practical stuff. It's from the founder of Apple. I was reading about him, and he similar thing when he was in his school. He learned calligraphy. It is a way of writing, which beautifies it. Makes how you write something in computer. You have different fonts. So those different fonts he learned on paper when he was a kid, and then when he created computers in his company in Apple, he used that knowledge actually to write those fonts in the computer. He programmed those fonts based on his knowledge he learned as a kid. So it's very important. Whatever you're going to learn, inshallah, going to help you out in the future, and you're going to stand out from rest of the crowd. And I can go on and on about it. There are multiple stories, but we want to move on, inshallah. So time management, it's first of all, we can use these tools, but it is important to use your own brain. Tools are not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Your willpower, your connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very important. So there is a little bit of psychology, and sometimes we get addicted and very hard to kind of control. So these tools help out in those situations, right? So one of the simple strategy is, if you are somebody who is constantly using phone and looking for specific apps for entertainment, let's go with simple strategies, then we can go more technical. So one of the simple strategies as a parent as well, sometimes as parents, we also are kind of addicted to these apps, and our kids kind of also seeing us using our phone as much, so they kind of learn from us as well. So we can use this technique to benefit as kid as well as parents. It is to just move out some of the apps that you're addicted to. For example, you're addicted to YouTube. Make sure it's not an icon on your home page of your phone, right? So on Android, the icons are can be placed on top of your screen. For example, I have this phone and it has icons right here on the top of the screen, and I can see all icons like this, but some icons I have right here. So, but you can drag and make sure you remove those this way to, those distraction are not at the top of your phone, because as soon as you open the phone, you have this distraction, you're already addicted, you're going to open and use those. So it's going to be quick waste of time, which is not healthy. So remove those. It's kind of hard for you to access it, and place the more beneficial apps which has some learning content. For example, LinkedIn Learning. I will send a message in the chat as well later when I would use computer, is the app. And if you search for learning apps in the App Store, there are multiple apps for a specific type of learning. For example, when I'm learning programming, there are multiple apps just teaching programming. If you want to learn about astronomy, physics, math, there's specific apps that are actually teaching those specific things. So make sure put those up front. So as soon as you open the app, you will be encouraged to kind of learn something. And eventually, sometimes happens when we are students, when we are young, sometimes studies become dry. You don't want to really learn and research about it. But if you spend more time with these apps and you learn about those specific topics, you will develop interest, and you want to study by yourself sometimes outside the school as well. It's going to help you not only in your school, you're going to excel, you're going to do better than the rest of the students. Also in the future as professional, you're going to be doing much better. So this first strategy, simply moving the icons, disabling the apps. In iOS, you can group the apps and put it on the side somewhere, that folder which has the apps which are distracting, to make sure that you are just not keep going to those. Also, it is better to use bigger screens, especially parents, when you are giving your devices to kids. For example, you're super busy at work or something, and a younger kid is needed something, and then you don't have a way to distract them, and you decide to give them a screen. It's better to give them a bigger screen. If you have a television, it's better to put something on for them on television, so you have better control and you can see what they're seeing. It is better to, for example, if try to give them something which they may not be willing to do it at the first time, but if you try to train them, I have a 2 years old, so I know it's difficult, but if you take some time, maybe later in the day when you have more time, try to explain them what they're watching, some more productive information, and they will eventually start to like it and watching it, inshallah, in the future. So you can put this on TVs instead of cell phone, because they can easily move things around on the phone and get distracted, and get to the stuff that they shouldn't be watching. But TV, where you have more control, you have your phone. Sometimes you can control TV with your phone, so now you can keep eye on it as well. So that's another simple strategy. Another simple strategy for older kids, like we have a lot of them here, alhamdulillah, it is to make sure you set a goal that you won't use your device for some time. When you wake up in the morning, you guys have not much to do, school is off, so it's very easy to just go to the devices and start using those. But when you're setting the goals of your day, as we discussed earlier, put this one as part of it, that you first 10 hours or 8 hours or 5 hours of your day, you won't be touching any device at all. And then you may have question what to do then. Make a goal, as I said, read a book, take something from the library, think about a hobby, maybe gardening, maybe play some specific games outside. So you have to discuss it with your parents what activity you can do. but set a time for a few hours at least to not touch any device. This way, all the addictions gonna curb. You would have more control in your life. You can think about what to do, and what you're doing, you can plan about it. Because when you go to the device and you start the app you started, and it has a lot of entertainment, you kind of just get distracted throughout the day and not achieve anything. So one of the best way is simply not touch it at all, not touch the device at all. So one of the basic tools, both Android and iOS, iPhones and Samsungs, they all have some kind of a screen tracker, a screen time tracking system built into them nowadays. All the new phones have them. In Android, it's called digital well-being. And I will post that as well. As soon as I start to share my screen, I will post that. So these apps can track your screen time. Let me actually start it. I have to turn off my camera because my laptop camera is not so great. I have to switch my audio. Give me just a couple of seconds. So the idea behind you guys can still hear me? Okay.
Cannot see it.
You cannot see me.
We can't see it.
Fine, I will share it right in a moment.
Thank you.
So okay. So now so in Android we call it digital well-being.
Okay, we still can't see your screen.
You can see my screen now?
No.
Not yet. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
now is okay.
So digital well-being is sometime in older devices comes as a separate application, and you would have to install it. In a newer devices, you can access it in settings. So you go to Android, your settings, and then you will see it. So digital well-being, how it works, it's simply if you let me share it on the group as well right here. So I would be putting some links in the chat, so those going to be really helpful. So make sure you know how to access the chat. If you don't know, I can show you that in Zoom. So I have shared the link. So this is a tool which tells you, for example, how much time have you spent on your screen. This is, you know, what you're seeing right here is not something you're going to see on your screen. You go and it will show you, for example, a timer. For example, you set a timer for a specific app. You can actually limit that app. Also, you can see on-screen time reports. For example, you can see how much time I have spent on, for example, YouTube or any other application. So this way, towards the end of the day, when you're ready to sleep, take a look at it, set yourself responsible. And as parents, you can set it up for all kids. If they have different devices or one device, and you'll say, okay, let's check towards dinner or something. Let's check how much time we have spent on a screen, on different apps, what apps we have spent time on. And for example, in Android, you can see in the settings, okay, in digital well-being, how much time we really have spent on YouTube or other applications, and then set a goal for next time. We'll say, okay, we have spent like 2 hours. That's too much. What do you have learned really from those 2 hours? If you haven't learned much, let's limit the time, or let's change the topic. Why we didn't learn, what we watched. One of the biggest problem is we look at the you know, videos, we look at these entertainment apps,
but we don't reflect on what we have watched. We just kind of forget. A lot of time,
I don't know.
a lot of time has lost, but we don't realize that all that time has lost. But when you go back and see, you would realize that, it's not healthy for us to, continue in that manner. So that is Android. On iOS, it's called screen time. It's in the setting as well. Let me share it in the chat as well. So I've shared in the chat as well. I will share the link in a moment. So this is how you access it in iOS. I don't have iOS, otherwise I would have showed you. So you go to settings and then search for screen time, look for screen time. And it will show you, it's very similar to Android. It has same, you can see per day, per week, how much time you have spent on which apps, and then again do the reflection. On both of these applications, well-being and screen time, they have a parental control right under them. So, and you can learn about that information from this link. Let me share this link right here. So I have shared the link in the chat. So this link tells you how to set up what you expect if you want to put parental controls. They have another link for that. I will share that. So this is, you understood this part. This is straightforward and simple. Just look at the screen time of different applications. So this is the same. I will share this link as well. But this is the similar tool. Within that tool, you can actually set up parental controls as well. So as you are a parent, you can set timers and things for your kids' profile as well. If you have bought, for example, different screens, different devices, you can set your device as a parent, and then you can control your kid's device from it. If you have same device you are sharing, you can set your device as a child device, and then you can set up timers and everything as well. So this is the link I can share. Let me check if this works. Yeah. So any questions so far? So far following me? Am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, let me know. I will slow down a little bit.
Yes, brother. Jazakallah khair, mashallah. Very, very beneficial information. You mentioned two types. Is it only two types for control or parent sharing for the?
So the two types I've mentioned is one for iOS devices, one for Apple devices, and other one for Android devices. Those are the major two players in the business.
I'm talking about the apps or the approach. It's only two, or can
there is more. There is more.
Yes.
I just
can we write list of that, or at least like 5, 7?
Right.
There are. Can we do that?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about more. So far, what I have discussed, I want to make sure so far people have followed. These tools are built into the phone. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to go anywhere else. It is in the settings. That's why it is simple and built in, and controlling the screen time, setting up some parental controls built into our devices.
Jazakallah khair.
And even if you haven't watched and haven't listened to what I've said or didn't follow any links, it's very easy. Just look for it. Just do simple Google search, and these tools are designed in a way that they will show you how to do it right away when you're using them. You don't have to really learn how to use it. As soon as you start to set up, it will take you step by step in a way that it will be set up for you. So these are built in, nothing to pay, nothing to do anything outside. Also, another tool which is built in, it is called Safe Search for Google. Safe Search for Google. Safe Search for Google search. So when you go to safe search, it is about filtering the explicit results from your from the Google Images. So sometime what happens, you are in your Google Images and some explicit results can come, explicit images can come. This is a death trap. This is something very dangerous. So we have to make sure to turn the safe search on. By default, it's off. So make sure all the devices kids are using, even you are using, turn that on. This way, the wrong results in images don't show up on your machines. It's very simple. If you just search for, if you are in Google search, you search for it, you will see the instructions and straightforward, just turn it on. That's it. Let me see if I have another link. I'll share this one as well. I had a better link. Let me find it. This I found it. So it is called Safe Search, and it is in right here. So if I paste it right here, and then this is the setting right here. You see, it shows you on your computer, go to Safe Search setting, and as soon as you go to Safe Search setting, it is this link. I will share this link in the group right now, in the chat. So all you have to do is, as you see it here, it says it is off. You can turn it on, and it can tell you what it means. It's gonna simply, let's say somebody's searching something, they can want to skip some of the worst results, which can destroy the life of your kid easily. So it's just one click, and it can be done through parental controls as well, but it's right here. I shared the link. Just go and turn it on all devices. Also built in, free, and we must do it. So now what we have done so far, we have make sure the time is limited, right? We have limited time. We have turned on the safe search to avoid explicit results from searches. And if you are using a different search, just look for the settings. You say, how can I make this search engine, let's say you're using Bing, or there are other search engines as well. So just look for how can I make it safer, and you will see there must be some settings in all of them. Just go turn on those settings, make sure they're turned on. So that's one step that you have gone farther. But what happens if somebody, if a kid go to the explicit website directly, they know the address of the website directly, they're not doing a Google search, they're going to the website directly, you can block that as well. You can block that as well. And there is a free tool, again, alhamdulillah, it's called OpenDNS. So I will share the link. So this link is right here, and I can share it with you in the chat. So as soon as you go, you will see it's called OpenDNS. The idea is very simple, that you would want to go. Let me share one thing before it makes sense to you. So when you are on internet, right, you are going through network, right? So what happens, you have multiple devices at home, for example, they're connected to a router, some kind, and then it goes to ISP and other places. So first, what we have done, first step, what we were doing, we were trying to protect our devices by setting up some settings, changing the settings on our devices. The first step is this, directly to protect right away from the device itself. But let's say a kid has passed through it somehow and has gone to your router level and in the internet. Now we want to see what are different options we can control that. So one of the options is through OpenDNS. The whole idea is when the request is coming outside your home, you can control it. And I have it already, so I don't have to sign up. I can go to Open DNS, and you go to dashboard.opendns. I will share the link. Which will take you. You create a login. You log into your network, and then it will show you your IP as well. And I will share this link. This is the dashboard link. So when you go, it will you have to create a link first with the sign up link I sent earlier. Then this link you go and to set the settings. So you have your IP address. This is the IP address you have for your machine, and then you can add this to the network, and it will show up right here. So on different devices, you can go and make sure all the IPs are added. So once you have done this, you can get, for example, you have IP address, you give it a name, and then if it is a dynamic IP, just set it as dynamic, hit done. I'm not doing it hitting done because I already have done it, but it will show up like this. And you can redo it, delete, management is straightforward. So once you created those, and as you set up, as you see, I have set up for moderate. Here you can set what type of filtering for your websites you want. And this one, they can block direct website as well. So for example, previously we were talking about the search, but here you can, for example, a specific website your kid is going, you can block that as well, and you can set up the general settings. This one, for example, protect from adult related sites and illegal activity and all that. So that can be protected. You can go here to even block porn and time wasting applications. So sometimes it blocks even more websites that I want. So I don't want to usually use that, and I use moderate settings. If you have caught your kid, for example, going to a specific website and you want to block that, here is a tool right at the bottom where it says always block, and then you can put the website name right here and add to the domain. For example, I want to block google.com. It doesn't make sense, but I don't want to give information which can be harmful. So that's why I'm putting google.com right here. And you can say, hey, put this block on all networks. You can create different networks for you. For example, you're blocking YouTube for some reason, but you want to allow it for yourself. So you can create different networks when you're creating the networks, and you come here and just add it to your kids network. So you can kind of create groups for yourself. But here, how do you block it? You just hit add domain, and then they said, okay, you are blocking it. So now Google become blocked domain. And if you want to remove it, let's say I want to allow your kids to access it, you can come and delete this restriction. So you can list as many domains as you want right here to block them. So this way it will not let them go to specific domains. And then let's say you want to hit, there's a list of domains. For example, you want to search, for example, for adult sites, you want to get a list from just Google search and make sure put all of them right here. So the kid not going to go in any of those specific ones, and they're already listed here. So this is OpenDNS. It is free to use. Always just go create an account. Straightforward stuff. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it as well. Let's say you miss one of the steps that I showed you and you're not sure what it means, just Google it, and a lot of people showing it better than what I've done. So that's that OpenDNS. I have shared the link as well. So now you have blocked specific websites with OpenDNS, limited to time. There are some, if you have good routers in your home, smart routers or mesh routers. So mesh routers have built-in software sometimes. For example, Google, this is a this is a router. I'm using TP-Link mesh router myself. So it's not expensive, this one. This one improve quality of your internet overall. For example, these are 2 units, and so it can expand the Wi-Fi range in your home easily. They are connected, without a wire. the connection between the devices is not through wire. So you can extend your Wi-Fi in your home. Also, they have some applications on your phone. So it's not a basic router, it's better than basic one, because you can go and said, okay, don't go to this website. They have, and all different brands have different applications that can be used differently, and they allow you to create different even Wi-Fi networks. So for example, kids, you can create a different Wi-Fi network to give them access to the Wi-Fi from it. This way, you can control even the time for the network as well. Some of them have automatic feature where you can set a timer. Some of them, they don't have automatic timer setup, but you have to you can go manually and shut that network down. So you can limit the access to the internet as well. This way, the idea is to download the beneficial stuff. You have offline videos or offline content for them to enjoy. And you have some time for their research. They can go research, learn about a topic. That's good. They have done that. For example, you have 1 hour set for the day. They have gone through it. They have done their research. They have the content. Good. They can still use the device, but their network is down. They can watch offline, or they can busy in other activities, read books, or do other hobbies, do gardening or something else. But the idea is you can control through the router itself as well. So another tool was that. Now these routers and OpenDNS, both of these tools are Wi-Fi based, right? So kids have access to the Wi-Fi and you can control it. But let's say kid goes outside or they turn off the Wi-Fi. Now they have a phone network, right? They have your customer of AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon or some kind of this network. And these network have, they have internet as well. So they are not now being limited by these tools, by routers or by OpenDNS. So all of these companies, mobile service provider, they have already free filters as well. So all of them have free filters. For example, if I go to Verizon, just, I can share this link right now. Let me share this. But you don't have to rely on the link. Let me type mesh routers as well that we have discussed to give you the idea. And now other is mobile network controls. So these are when the kids are not at home or they turn off the Wi-Fi, they have access to your phone data, and they are using it to research online, or they're accessing internet this way. All of them, for example, Verizon have this application. You can learn about it and see their pricing. Some of them, most of them are free. Verizon used to have it free. I think they have recently changed it, unfortunately. But there is, just go through it, talk to them. You can always give them a call and ask about it. For example, this have different browser that you can install, and it can have an add-on as well on your Chrome browser or and other places. For example, Verizon, as I said, it's now becoming a paid feature as well. Previously, I think it was free completely. Anyways, but they have some basic free stuff as well. So utilize those. So this is Verizon. Let me share other links as well. I have for T-Mobile users. Let me share the link. So for T-Mobile users, they have WebGuard as well, and you can do it through their app. Basic restrictions are there, and then they have some of these have parental controls as well. When you go into the app, I don't have time to go through each app. Neither I have service for each one of them, so it's hard to show you. But whatever service you have, just go through the app, or just search for it, or give them a quick call, the customer support. They will show you which app you have to download, or search for T-Mobile apps, for example, on your app store, or Verizon apps, or AT&T apps, and you will see one of the apps would have some kind of a guard or safe word in it, and that's the app you want to download and then set up. So this is the T-Mobile one. I have AT&T as well. These are the three major players in the industry, but there are, as you know, there are so many smaller companies popping up here and there. Mint Mobile, Boost Mobile, what else? Cricket Wireless, and there are so many others as well. I did T-Mobile again. Let me put AT&T. So this is AT&T right here. So, they have this little better version. I think they have kind of family version and how you can do it. You can limit screen time, filter web and app use, which is great. Whenever you are switching, next time when you're doing a switch, think about these things as well. How you can, which network have better controls in place, because all we are thinking about the phone deals and the plan money you're going to pay end of the month, but think about beyond that. You see what are they doing to control the internet for you, and how easy the controls are. Review those ahead of time when you're making a choice. So this is AT&T, as I said. If you have a smaller companies other than these three, give them a call and see what controls they have to use. So these are some of the tools we have seen. One of the think Sheikh was mentioning about watching videos. He didn't mention specifically YouTube Kids, but all the entertainment apps sometimes have kids version, sometimes have the version for younger kids. And for example, YouTube have YouTube and then YouTube Kid, if you go, even on sometimes people just see on the phone, but even if you go online, their application on the web, they have a setup, so you can go through the setup to make sure, for example, you're setting at your kid's device, say, okay, I'm a kid, and then go through the settings, put your age. It's a little bit of process. They show you even the video on how to set it up. So just go through that setup and make sure you have the control, what type of apps you're going to allow your kids to see and things, instead of letting them go to directly YouTube, which has content for everybody. And sometimes some of these controls we talked about don't work very well within the apps. So for example, a kid have gone to YouTube already, and some explicit result might come because these tools will think, okay, so just a YouTube link, it's not something adult site or something, so they will allow it. So all these setup we are doing for different tools, we have to see what really they can do. They don't think that all the links are bad, which we know are bad. So the limitations are there. For specific apps, as I said, you have to go within the app and see what filters and what settings they have within it. So whenever you are setting all of these, do some testing. Make sure it's not like you have set up, okay, your parents' device, you have set up your kid's device, and then you think you're good. No, please take your kid's device and whatever you have set up, try to use it and see if that is working or not. Also look at your kid's behavior, as Sheikh has mentioned in his presentation already, that if you see what your kid is doing, you're gonna see ways. Some even young, very little kids, my 2 years old, can find things, do things in a way that I cannot imagine. So you can go through some weird direction and do some weird things that I haven't done it. So and then you want to block that access as well. So make sure you look at the kid. You know, put the computers, put the screens, put the devices in a common areas where you can easily see them. Use bigger device for you to be able to access it. If possible, it's a common area. Cameras are cheap. Put a simple maybe vice cam. You know, and you can disagree with me on this, which is fine. But if you are okay doing it, it just costs you $30 or $40 to even have it. Easy to install, setup. So in the common area where they have device, you can access it. So to, you know, just to make sure that you have access to what they have access to. Okay, so about the limitations on these tools. So this is pretty much the technical things I want to share. Let me go back and kind of talk about some of the limitations. Let me switch again. Give me a few seconds. So I'm kind of coming to the close. So don't worry about the time. We'll be closing on time. Just a few things I want to mention before we close. Is the limitation, first of all. These tools are not perfect. All the new content about LGBT, for example, it's everywhere. It's not considered a bad content. So even though you put all the filters, it will come through. So it's always, as Sheikh mentioned, always kind of watch what your kid is watching. Sometime I have a 2-year-old, whenever he's watching even a simple video from a school teacher, I know it's a school teacher, but she's promoting LGBT, I know every now and then. It's not very often, but it comes up. And even though your kid, you think, oh, it's too young and he won't understand, it's kind of building up behind the scenes in their mind. You want to avoid that. So not all content is being filtered. So you want to, as Sheikh said, you can be subscribed to specific systems, specific channels where you know the content is going to be completely safe. Weird language and weird trends, another thing is on the social media these days. So it is best to be very limited time, to spend very limited time on social media. Some weird trends are there. You know, sometimes you'll see there's a video about kids are disrespecting their parents, and it's kind of a trend, and then other kids start to follow. Same with the teachers, the school teachers. You'll see somebody put a video insulting the teacher or something. Very bad habit and can damage your kids, but it won't be filtered through these tools we talked about. It will go through. So you have to make sure who they're really following. Also, kids, even though you have all these tools put in place, kids are watching other kids. Kids are watching, consuming content from their friends as well. You know, their friends have devices and they can go and see. So we have to work as a community. We cannot work as individuals. You see, there are so many tools, but they're not perfect. You can learn about all of them. You can put all the time. You can do perfect all the things, but still they can go with other friends and learn something wrong. So we have to work as a community. We have to see who their friends are, and if we work as a community and parents as a team, we can together make sure our kids are sitting like-minded kids who are willing to have pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have good intentions always and have really good knowledge, and that's what they're sharing among them, and not spending a lot of time with somebody who would have false intentions and wrong knowledge and completely misguided people. So, and we have to kind of create group
among our kids as well, even our youngsters who are becoming teenagers. We have to make sure that they work as a team. They have a goal in mind. We have to set the goals as the not as just individuals, as I talked about in the beginning, that the kids have to have their goal. They have to have a goal as a young community as well. So I talked about finances in the beginning, that schools don't do a good job teaching those. But if all the kids have the goal to learn about it, imagine the power of community coming together, learning something together. Kids coming together, learning something together. They're going to learn a lot because they're going to discuss those topics instead of discussing something which is not going to help them at all, going to destroy their character. So these are the important points I wanted to share today. Kind of jam-packed as much information as I could. Sorry if it is too much, but it's recorded. So go back and inshallah watch if something I went too fast. And I'm here in the community, so reach out to me. I have limited knowledge. You guys are parent. You guys have experience as well. Most of you have more experience than me. So inshallah, share that with the Sheikh and then to the community. And as I said, we have to kind of work as community to defeat it. Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, mashallah, very beneficial, very benefit for the member of the family. And I have a question. All that stuff can work with ads, advertising. It's, when we said, sometimes we're watching, YouTube, you watch Quran, you watch Kaaba, you watch Life Medina, such advertising come to you and interrupt your watching.
Yes.
How can we control that?
So there are tools specifically to control that type of advertisement. But unfortunately, nothing is perfect. All of those tools would sync some. For example, if you are watching, if you're listening to Quran and there is a sister in the video trying to sell a car, that sister is considered safe in common in our society. Unfortunately, it has happened to me. A brother showing me some prayer time on this app, and an ad show up again. Sister trying to sell something. And we're sitting in the masjid reading Quran. It was something we didn't want to see, but it's considered completely safe by all the apps. So yes, unfortunately, that's a case throughout, and it works like
So
cancer.
there is no way to control the ads, no way to control, even to pay money to avoid advertising.
So on some apps, as you said, on you can, for example, on YouTube,
especially
you can pay.
YouTube.
Yes, YouTube, you can pay and not have ads, but there's limitation on how many devices you have, and not everybody is willing to pay. So that's another thing. But there are apps that sometimes there's no option to pay. For example, some apps sometimes don't give options to pay you. It can be challenging. So when you're choosing app, ahead of it, think about how you're gonna have the app ads. Or sometimes app, for example, I downloaded an app for Quran for memorization, but I could not afford even because it's asking me for $5-10 per month for that simple app. I don't want to pay this much money. So those issues are there. Nothing is perfect, unfortunately.
Oh yes, exactly. Jazakallah khair. Any question, guys? No questions? Okay. At the end of that session, we get so much benefit. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala barakah and blessing for brother Faizan Rauf. He get so many lessons and many benefit for the family today. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guidance for our kids, our youth, our parents. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep guidance in our life till we meet him subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect the kids, Muslim kids and all kids. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. جزاكم الله خيرا. وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.
Bye.
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 Salam
Bye. Muhammadu. So we're locked on here.
Bye, Jabril and Jabril. I forgot to tell you, we're literally live on YouTube, and you're goofing around.
I know.